I probably have maybe anywhere between 9 and 11 felonies. My record, man, it started in juvie. Of course, I know I done been convicted of at least like 8 felonies. When I applied for the job, got the job, and then I get a termination letter. And I know it was the first thing that they saw when they got my background check. I had 16 obstruction of an officer.
I don't know what I did to make everybody hate trees. Everybody hate trees. I don't know what I did.
To tell you the truth, I probably have maybe anywhere between 9 and 11 felonies on my record, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the ones that probably, that, I got convicted of. You know what I'm saying? The song we copped out to get dismissed. Tell you the truth, you know what I'm saying? But my record, man, it started in juvie, doing all that stuff. But once I got older, it really didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? I got a little smarter than I was when I was younger in my teenage years, man. But they started piling up too, man. So it was songs that I got, dismissed. But of course, I know I done been convicted of at least like 8 felonies. You know what I'm saying? 8, 9 felonies. I know that for sure. Just by Jehovah's grace that, I didn't go down the road for those felonies. You know what I'm saying? I went down for the weed felony and the conspiracy, all that, but I didn't go for none of that, man. And it comes back and hunt you. No matter what, it comes back and hunt you, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was doing that to me in the early stage of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all right now, you know what I'm saying? For the wife, kids, married, in the house, and things are looking up, and, I'm in God's grace, you know what I'm saying? Jehovah's grace. So I'm cool now, man. But up until now, you know what I'm saying? Up until those documentaries and all that stuff start going national again, because it did at one time already, me and Video Wayne. But once it started going national again, and people start looking at not just it as a documentary, but this is something that's very sentimental. It's memorabilia. I don't know if people know that me and Video Wayne documentary New Orleans Exposed carries a sentimental value. That's the last footage of New Orleans before Katrina hit. We have that stuff. It's in museum, man. People have put our film in, like at least 2 museums that I know of, man. So up until this stuff re-hit again, you take it 12 years back, felonies had me looking bad on just couldn't get a job. You know what I'm saying? You wait on your royalty check, it'd be twice a year, when you just got one project out, you know what I'm saying? You can't eat like that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go get a job and do whatever you got to do for your family right then. I don't care how people look at me, what my name is, what my street cred is. I'll go right here and start working at KFC. Done it before, like KFC. You know what I'm saying? Buffet master. But those felonies caught up with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Even that KFC job, man, that was by the grace of a cousin had went to prison, met a guy in prison. He get out years later. He the director what you call it, assistant manager, district manager, or whatever at the KFC. You know what I'm saying? At my house with me and my cousin smoking, talking it up. Man, let me get a job. Something like that right now. So I do whatever it takes. But it was hard doing, from me getting all that trouble at an early teenage, man. You know what I'm saying? I remember my cousin Jameson Durham. Big shouts out to Jameson. What's up, cuz? Big cuz. Jameson Durham. He's working at a spot, you know what I'm saying? And he's still up, matter of fact, but he's working at a highly, big company, one of the biggest companies, in the world, really. He's working at that plant, and I told him when I found out. I told him, I was trying to get a job. It was hard, what I'm saying. Like I said, it was probably like 10, 12 years ago, and he said, yeah, man, just go ahead and put it in, man. I'm see can I get you pulled, and blah 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 blah. So I went and did it, man. Went and applied for the job. Got the job at this big company, man. Started entry level, but I'm in the dope. You know what I'm saying? Boom, start working. I'm 2 weeks in. Done paid the drug test, everything. Boom, with the swab, I know how to do all that. Bam, 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 bam. I'm working. I'm good. And then I get a termination letter in the mail. I'm talking about termination. I'm like, what? Well, I didn't know they fire you through the mail. These folks fire you anyway, any type of way these days. You know what I'm saying? But I get the termination letter, my last check. I read the termination letter, and they said it was because of my record. So I'm like, what? And then they had a copy of my record inside this termination letter that about this thick and came through like the UPS or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when I get the record and start reading my record, the first thing that I see on my record, and I know it was the first thing that they saw when they got my background check back, I had 16 obstruction of an officer. I would never forget that number. When I looked at it, I'm like, what? 16. Before we get to anything else, home invasion, burglary, convicted felon with a firearm, possession of marijuana, intent to distribute, commission of firearm, possession of firearm, commission of a crime, all these charges at 19. You know what I'm saying? But this before you even get to them. Before you get to them, they had to read through the dates and the city where it happened at and all that of 16 obstruction of office. And I know they probably didn't get to the rate. When they seen that right there, they said, oh no, we don't need him for our company. They said, we don't need him for our company. No black boy. 16 obstruction of an officer. And it's all about how it looks on paper. That's all it's about. Think about it. An employee reads your background check. Open the folder up. And on August this 1999, whatever. Obstruction of an officer. Obstruction of an officer. Obstruction of an officer. Read 16 of them. Right then, like I said, you don't got to go no far. But the thing is about that obstruction. See, when they read it, the first thing that comes to their mind is he done obstructed the officer. It's a fight. It's something done happened. You know what I'm saying? Because that what first comes to your mind when you obstruct the officer is some type of fight or some type of tussle. But that wasn't it in none of those 16 cases. In each one of those cases of obstruction of officers that I have on my record, they was simply because I took off. Hey, put your hands up. I'm gone. Hey, you stop. Done trees. I'm taking off anyway, like right off the rip, man. You know what I'm saying? With dope, without dope, I don't want a lottery charge, and they had to catch me later on with a lottery and obstruction charge. I rather deal with that later on whenever they catch me. But right then, however, I'm gonna take all right. I always did. I always ran, in front of cops. You know what I'm saying? So when they see them 16 obstruction, man, they thinking it's a more of a obstructing the law than a person just running from the cops. You know what I'm saying? But that little bit right there cost me the job. You know what I'm saying? I had a forklift job. You know what I'm saying? Paying $16, $17 an hour 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That's 10 years ago money. And I had a stalking charge that they had me mixed up or linked with my brother, man, who did. I had a stalking charge on my record. Couldn't get the job for that right now. And what's crazy about that is I had all that other stuff on my record. You know what I'm saying? But I had been convicted of it, did my probation, and it was over with. But I had the stalking charge that was decked out on my record. And all the aggravated stuff, all this stuff, they said that decked out stalking charge and say, oh, well, we can't do nothing with you with that right there. What? Come back and hunt you every time, man. For real, man. That felony shit. I'm telling you, those of you who don't got no felony, y'all need to stay like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause y'all cool. But on the other hand, let me tell y'all where the downside of that when it comes to the streets. When it comes to the streets and the hood, if we out and about and if we see you with your weapon on you, carrying your weapon in y'all holster, at least for y'all who, you know, I got a lot of people too that's out there like this. When you got a gun and it's in your holster and you can walk through the stores and walk around with it, we know that it's legit. You know, like everybody know, even the cops know, because it's out. You can see it. He must got a license to carry and old enough to carry. You know what I'm saying? So we know it's legit. But what we also know too is if you carry that gun legitly, your ass ain't got no felonies. Therefore, 9.5 times out of 10, if you don't got no felonies, your ass ain't did shit in the streets. And like I said, I got partners that I rock with that I love that's in the same predicament. But I'm just letting everybody know what the street homies know about you that carry your weapon out in the broad, because you can. It's licensed and all that. We know that you ain't shot nobody, you ain't did nothing, you ain't, you know, like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't got no record, you don't got no street cred. So when we look at y'all, just saying, some, you know, and I can't say everybody, you know, speaks to me. It's just me, how I feel. When I look at you, I know that you, like I say, you don't have no record, you ain't been in the prison, none of that stuff. So therefore, you know, you ain't no threat. You know, not saying that you won't shoot none of that. Anybody shoot, my son to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Just saying you ain't no threat or none of that when it comes to if something gonna go down. If I'm gonna get into it with you, I know if I got one too, you know, and you got that, I'm most likely to bust you before you bust me, because this is what I did. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's all good, man. Just be safe. Everybody, with those guns out there, man, I just want everybody to be safe, man, and enjoy y'all life, man. It's real talk coming from OG Black Butt 3700. I done took 6 of them things, and them things hot. And everybody can't take 6. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see what happened to my brother, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another great episode of the new Underground Source TV with your whole TV and film producer, Don Trees Knox, OG Black Boy 3700. That new single is out, man. Y'all got to share it. Y'all got to like it, man. Give me some comments on it. Tell me how y'all feel about it. It's on my page right now. It's called This My City, man. The album coming out mixtape, man. Y'all know it's gonna be a free download, man. It's called Citywide. I got a lot of good features on there. Y'all make sure y'all check out my YouTube shop and log up for the memberships, man. It's going down right here. College Park, stand up.
I don't know what I did to make everybody
Hey, me, old nigga, hey, trees.
the slip of my